All right, y'all. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to your favorite WMMA podcast. Hashtag CB99 Talks, episode 172. What's going on, y'all? All right. Just had to get everything straight here. But yeah, we back again, back again. Another fight week here. Got some good fights coming up. Don't really have like major UFC fights, but there's a lot of other stuff going on, man. I might just have to fill y'all in on because I thought I was gonna be just chilling this weekend watching UFC, but man, there's a lot of good fights coming up. There's a lot of fights coming up. Me being a boxing fan too. There's women's boxing. There's an all women's boxing card. Sounds interesting. Alicia Baumgartner's back. Who else you got? This Michaela Mayer fight. Shout out to Marcus. I know he's gonna be checking that stuff out. But we got some bantamweight fights coming up over the next 2 weeks, man. Like, look like bantamweight is trying to make his way back in the mix, man. I like that. For a minute we were talking about how bantamweight was looking kind of drab and dreary, but now we got a few fights, man. We got a few fights. Like what, four? Two beasts. What's going on? Six. Yes, sir. What's up, Lolita? She said, I'm off this weekend. What is up in the fight world? Oh, I'm glad you're off this weekend. Good, Lolita. I'm gonna fill you in on what's going on. Because let me see, if you do have UFC Fight Pass, there is, or if you find some way to watch some of these fights, there's a few afternoon cards coming up. You got some good women's fights up there. Let me see, we got PFL, that Europe edition of PFL is coming up on the 28th. What is the 28th? Saturday, right? Yeah, so you got that card. It's early, but still sounds like a good one. And Air Mike, what's up, man? Just got a lot of stuff happening. Let me see. The UFC fight card is another early card though. This weekend is an early card, right? It is a 12 nooner. Yeah, it's a 12 nooner. So you get to spend your afternoon watching fights, Lolita. That's good. At least you don't have to wait till nighttime. You said I got a gymnastics comp Saturday morning, but I'm available at night. Oh man. Okay. Well, the UFC fight card is at 12 noon Eastern time. I don't know where you at, if that's going to be too early for you, but yeah, it starts that early. But yeah, like I was saying, we got some good stuff coming up, man. Got some good stuff coming up here. I'm gonna run through this schedule in a minute, but I want to know if y'all watched the Contender Series last night. This was a good fight right here. This was a good fight. Um, the lady's been delivering at the Contender Series this time. They've been delivering. Hey, Marcus, I'm glad you could come in, man. Marcus, you just got here just in time, man. Got here just in time. We're gonna talk about this fight here real quick, and then we're gonna talk about some women's boxing coming up. The all women's boxing card, because I'm gonna surprise some people about what I told you here. But yeah, we had Alexia Tharnera versus Rose Conceição. I've been keeping up with her. I've been keeping up with Rose because she was the LFA strawweight champion. And unfortunately, again, another LFA champion bites the dust in a way. I mean, Rose Conceição didn't get knocked out, but she got schooled in there. She did get schooled. She did get schooled against this young lady, Alexia Tharnera. I like this girl, man. I like both of them, but I think Alexia is UFC level from what I'm seeing, like low UFC level. I mean, I ain't saying she's gonna be like top 10, but this girl's got some energy. This turned out to be a good fight. If y'all missed this one, check it out. It wasn't a knockout, it went to decision, but I think Alexia, she brought like a different energy in there, very high pace, showed some well-rounded skills. She was doing a lot of leg work in here. Literally, she was chopping Rose's leg down. Just putting a lot of pressure on. Good defense too, I think. I like her defense. Like I will say that I like her striking defense. I didn't know if you noticed, Marcus, but she was blocking a lot of shots with her arms. She was doing a good job of like parrying a lot of shots, with her arms. I don't really see a lot of women do that. A lot of women block punches with their face. I ain't trying to be mean, but I'm just saying, I'm being real. A lot of these women sometimes, even the dudes, they be blocking shots with their face too much, but she was actually standing there at range and she was blocking a lot of punches with like, her forearms. And I like that. And then she was coming back with her own shots. So I think if you clean that up, because she gets a little wild, I think if, they clean that up for Alexia, she'll be a problem. But as far as what she was doing with the stand up, it was impressive. But she was getting good takedowns. She was getting some good takedowns on the wrestler. Rose was considered the wrestler here, but she was getting taken down multiple times in here. I don't know if it was because Rose tried to spend a lot of time striking. She was trying to go up in there boxing, but shots like this were landing, man. Shots like this were landing from Alexia Tharnera throughout the fight. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these girls, they learn how to strike. They learn how to punch. You just can't go in there one dimensional. You can't go in there with your hands down. You can't go in there sleeping. This girl Tharnera, she got a lot of energy. Real high paced fighter. Bouncing around, staying in her opponent's head. Doing a little bit of showboating, which I'm not a big fan of showboating, but as far as like just bouncing around and having that energy, that's kind of a that kind of breaks your opponent sometimes. If your opponent continues to bounce around from the first round to the second round to the third round and they still have high energy, that can kind of be discouraging for a fighter. Like that can be discouraging for the opponent. And I think that Alexia was just in her head with, a lot of that energy. She was constantly backing her into the cage, kicking her to, tearing that lead leg up, kicking her to the stomach, taking her down multiple times. Just all around good work. I had a 30-27 for Alexia Tharnera. Again, Rose Conceição just behind. Couldn't really come up with no game plan. Couldn't really make no adjustments. And that sucks, that sucks. But at the same time, it was necessary. And that's what I've been saying, to y'all. I've been telling y'all, look, that's why it's not wise for a lot of these LFA champions to get signed right away. I talked about this like a year or so ago. I mean, if y'all remember, I was saying when these girls win a belt from like LFA and they get signed right away, I don't have a lot of hope sometimes that they're going to make it because there's levels to it, right? Now, if they go to the contender series, that's better because then we can see, okay, are they ready or not? Because the contender series kind of brings another level of dog out of it, dog and skill. I think sometimes the girls think, okay, because I'm a champion, I can come in here and my opponent's going to lay down to me and they're going to secure me a contract. That's where you get messed up sometimes. I'm not saying that was Rose's mindset, but Alexia Tharnera, she came in there with a game plan and she was ready to make a statement. She was in there, like I said, showing out, performing at a higher level, just showing a little bit of everything, ground game, stand up, wrestling, a lot of good stuff in there. So, Dana White had no choice but to sign her. So, yeah, good on her. Shout out to Alexia Tharnera. Yeah, I think that this is good for those LFA champions. It sucks for like Shannon Clark that she had got knocked out, but that's fine. Before she got to the UFC, she learned a lesson. Same thing with Conceição. These other girls, you learn a lesson real quick, go back to the drawing board. At least it wasn't like on a big level at the UFC, I don't know if you agree with me on that, Marcus, if you saw that, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Like if these girls face a couple of losses in the contender series, good, they can go back and work. Because when you get signed, when you get that contract and you start getting knocked out, you be getting knocked out like that, it kind of kills your momentum, right? Because you get knocked out in front of a lot of people, or you start losing, and that kind of kills that train behind you, So I think Rose can come back from this. Shannon Clark, those fighters, they can come back from that. You'll probably see them on like the next season of the Contender Series if they get some more wins or whatever. But yeah, I like Alexia Tharnera. Yeah, Mark, she makes some exciting fights. I think she makes some exciting fights. She's going to. Who would you like to see her fight? In her UFC debut. That's a good question. Like, who would you like to see Tharnera fight in a UFC debut? I think. Let me see. Who would be a good matchup for her? Just like off top. Girls like Jacqueline Amber might be a little dangerous, but I know she's kind of booked and got a little bit of experience. But I'd have to look. I'd actually have to look, man. I don't feel like pulling up the whole strawweight division, but I just throw that question out to the chat. Okay, 2B said Bruna Brazil. You said something earlier about the Contender Series. Let me see. 2B said Dana White's replay is available for y'all in the Fight Pass. When I tried watching the WMMA fight, it pulled the fight up, but it wouldn't let me play it. Oh, okay, yeah, I watch it on ESPN Plus. I still watch it on that. Johnny, what's up? He said, how you feel about Weili get championship privilege, one title fight in 2023, 2024? While they answering that question, Johnny, I don't like it. I don't really think it's her fault with the way the division looks. Some girls aren't ready. Some girls are losing. And I think she's already beat the majority of the fighters. I would love to see her fight 2 or 3 times a year, like when Joanna was champion, but I don't really think there's anybody lined up. Well, I wanted to see the Suarez fight. Like, I wanted to see her fight Suarez and then fight Jandiroba. I think that would have been game. Now, I'm going to be mad if Suarez wins this fight against Jandiroba and then an injury happens. That's what I'm worried about. But had it been me, I think they should have went on and closed the year out with Suarez and Zhang Weili. That's how I saw it. Yeah, Bruno Brazil, 2 beasts. What's up, Sergio? Yeah, Vanessa Demopoulos. Crispy. Oh yeah. Crispy's a flyweight. Yeah, shoot, Fatima Klein. Oh, Danny McCormick trying to get her contract, right? I thought Danny McCormick got a contract. That would have been a good entrance fight. Who else? I don't want to put her in there with nobody like Loma. I always name Loma like that's my go-to. It could be somebody coming off a loss too. I think she's got that high energy though. I think she just got that high energy that might make some fights interesting, But yeah. Definitely keep an eye out. For her. Yeah, Crispy's a flyweight. Luciano, yes, Stephanie Luciano. Yeah, there you go. Stephanie Luciano. What's the other one named? Melissa Martinez. I believe she's back. So anybody like that, just to kind of get her in the door and put some eyes on her. Oh, Bruna, what is the girl's name? Shauna Bannon. Shauna Bannon. I think that's the ideal matchup right there. Shauna Bannon got a little name behind her, like a Molly McCann type. So yeah, Shauna Bannon's good. And yeah, those are good fights for her. But yeah, check that out if y'all ain't seen it. Definitely a good addition to the strawweight division. I think she'll make some noise. Young Brazilian coming up in here, trying to trying to get up into that pool of sharks. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend, man. There's like a bunch of fights. Like if you a fight head or fight fanatic and not just a UFC fanatic, there's a lot of fights going on. So I'm going to just kind of run through this schedule this weekend here because I'm going to be on Tapology for a minute. So if I don't see the chat, I'm over here. Let me see. Y'all know we got this PFL card coming up. I'm trying to pull this little screenshot up. It's not that clear, but let me see. PFL Europe 3 is going down this weekend. I know I'm tuning in. I'm looking forward to this one because I watched the first edition. Let me see. When did I watched that last tournament? That was back in June, I think. Because I believe I was out of town and I was just like, trying to pull it up on the side in my hotel room, but it wasn't that clear. But yeah, PFL 3, this should be good. You got 1, 2, let me see, 3 fights on here I'm looking forward to. Well, 2 of the tournament fights in their flyweight division, and then you got 2 fighters making their debut. So let me see. Yeah, if y'all go to Tapology, you pull up PFL 3, you get to see this tournament here. So let me see where you can watch this at. DAZN. Oh boy, DAZN, man. I don't even have DAZN. Let's see. This will be on September 28th, 12 noon. Same as the UFC card. So I'm gonna have to be flipping back and forth. All right. This is gonna be a good one though, man. All right. So you got Gemma Auld versus Veronica Pedruska. They're both making their pro debut. All right. So that's kind of an unknown fight, but we'll see what they do. I don't think they're in the tournament though. Moving on, you got Carolina Wojcik versus Paulina Winuska. Ooh, I know what they doing, man. They saving the matchup. They saving that matchup because Carolina Wojcik, I like her. She's kind of small. She's kind of small for flyweight. She a little ball of energy. With that Paulina Winuska, that girl's 3-0. Carolina is 12-5, but this girl right here packs a punch, man. This girl right here packs a punch, and I think they're trying to save that. They're trying to save that fight for the next one on here. Let me see here real quick. Yeah, Paulina Winuska, yeah, she had knocked out Dee Begley. That's right. Yeah, I was watching that fight back in June. And that big right hand she landed on Dee Begley, I mean, she put her to sleep, man. So I know what they're doing. They probably putting her against Carolina Wojcik first because the fighter I'm looking out for is Chanel Dyer. Chanel Dyer is taking on Valentina Scatsisi. Okay, that one there. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting fight. Honestly, my picks in these, I'm going to go with Paulina Winuska and I'm going to go with Chanel Dyer. I think both of them are going to score finishes. I mean, for y'all tuning in, what you think about that, Marcus? You thinking? I think Chanel Dyer and both Winuska are going to score finishes here. I think Winuska only 3-0, but this girl packs a punch, and Carolina Wojcik thinks she can walk in here and just handle this girl. This girl's like a Joanna with a punch right here. I ain't trying to overhype her, but I'm just saying, like, this girl got some energy and she's got some range. So I kind of think that Winuska's fighting Wojcik, she's gonna get a finish, and it's gonna come down to Chanel and Paulina in this one. Yeah, Valentina Scatsisi, I saw her in that last fight in June because she was on the same card. She did all right. Like, it was okay, but I saw some holes in her game. Like, she won her fight, I think, but it wasn't anything like over the top where I was like, oh, this girl's dangerous. What's up, Robot Chicken? He said, combo, I got Dyer first round KO. Yeah, I think KO is going to come from both of these girls. Chanel Dyer and Paulina. It's going to come down to them two. That's looking good. Yeah, Chanel versus Paulina. That's going to be a good fight, man. Yeah, keep your eye out for Chanel Dyer. I was just looking at her recent interview. I didn't really watch the interview yet, but I was looking at the text, and Chanel Dyer said, "Hey, I'm trying to fight the best." She was like, "I'm trying to fight the people with records like mine." I don't know if that was like a sneak diss to how some fighters are coming up, but Chanel made it clear, man. She was like, "Hey, I'm trying to fight, fighters that's gonna make me better, and I'm gonna fight these fighters that have records like mine." She want to fight fighters that are undefeated. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. Hold on. I'm going to pull that up here right now. Chanel Dyer. Yeah, she needs more followers too, man. Let's see. All right, so they said less experience, no problem for Chanel Dyer. Dyer is a 5-0 flyweight and has refused to take easy fights or layups. With all of her opponents having equal or more fights than her, she has finished 4 or 5 professional fights. All right. So yeah, I like that. She refuses to take easy fights. That's why she's 5-0 right now, because she's fighting the fighters that are making her better, right? Matter of fact, let's look at her resume here. Chanel Dyer, fighting people with a lot of fights on their belt. Okay, yeah, see, Chanel Dyer, her, I believe this was her. Let me see, one, two. Okay, so her first fight, yeah, okay, you fight somebody 0-2, that's fine. Then she fights another fellow undefeated fighter in her second fight. Okay. Then in her third fight, she fights somebody that's 4-2. That's 6 fights, right? Then she fights somebody that's got wait a minute, 20 fights. Yeah, she fought somebody at Aries FC with 20 fights, 11-7. That's a good resume. 11-7, 2 draws. Then she fights somebody with a 9-2 record, and she finishes all of them. She ain't fighting no 0-10s or 1-5s or 6-9s. Like, she fighting some people with some good resumes, man. I like that. Mark said, if I'm not mistaken, Chanel came out as a wrestler, then started to strike more. She comes from the Muay Thai background. I kind of seen her. I seen her striking more. Yeah, she's been more of a striker, I believe. Yeah, because shout out to Coach. He actually did an interview with her. She comes from that Muay Thai background. But do you mean that she come out more as a wrestler when she transitioned to MMA? Maybe I got to go back and look. But as far as I remember, she's always just been like striker. You know. Yeah, shout out to Coach. I know he did an interview with her maybe like a couple years ago. She seemed cool. She seemed like good people, humble, always ready to work. So I might actually go back and see if I can find his interview and post it up here. Yeah, I got to share that interview because it was a good one. It was a good one. So yeah, Chanel Dyer, definitely somebody I'm a fan of her style. She's getting finishes too. Hey, you got to put eyes on her like you put eyes on Dakota. She coming in here. I know she only 5-0, but she's got some good fighters she's fighting. All right. So PFL, you got that to look forward to. For some of y'all that's gonna be up on a Friday afternoon, like me, well, I might be up because I'm gonna snatch a power nap and then get to work. Let's see, Aries FC 6. Sorry, Aries FC 25. Oh, that's tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'll be home tomorrow. Yeah, Aries FC 25 has a card. I know Mark's gonna be hitting me up about some fights like this, so I'm gonna be looking. Aries FC 25 is coming on at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time on Fight Pass Thursday. There's a young lady I follow named Lindsay Payne. She'll be on this card fighting Melissa Hurtado. So that's for the hardcore fans. I'll be watching that. Who else is on this one? Yeah, that's about it on that. But I think there's another card too. There's another one to watch for. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, Brian, yeah, I can speak on that when I get a chance. Sure. I don't think she gets skipped over, but we'll see. I highly doubt that. I'm sure there's a lot of people that would love to see that, though. I'm just saying, like, man, she deserves it. She deserves her shot. The chances that she gets skipped over, I think, is about. The chances are stupid if she does get skipped over, but I don't know why it would happen. FFC. Oh, that's tonight. There's a card FFC. We got some women's fights tonight too. Just some unknown fighters, but check them out. And Yella Perez, Sofia Montenegro. There's a co-main event too. They be having a lot of co-main events and main events. A lot of WMMA fighters be moving up the ladder on the regional circuit. So I guess there is an audience that's starting to build up for women, man. Let me see. UAE Warriors. Any women on there? Okay, UAE Warriors. There's a UAE Warriors card on Friday at 10 a.m. This one's in Abu Dhabi, so it's 10 a.m. Eastern my time. Let me see. Amina Hadaya versus Atana Alvarez. Oh, I know her. Yeah. She fought for Combate. I might check that out. Lisa Zemo versus Solia Slim. Yeah, these cards be having a lot of low-key women fights, and some of them be knockouts too. That's why you got to start checking these fights out. But this is what I came to talk about too, man. Hold on. This boxing card. There's a boxing card coming up. I'm definitely checking out. It's Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's an all-women's card. For some of y'all know, Alicia Baumgartner is taking on Delphine Pursoon for the ones that do follow boxing. But this is the interesting part here, man. This is the interesting part here. Maria Agapova is on this all women's boxing card coming up Friday. She done bust her way into professional boxing, y'all. So tune in if you want to see if Agapova got them hands. She fighting a German fighter named Nicole Schaefer. I don't know much about Nicole Schaefer, but she's 3-0, and that might be a dangerous fight. Ooh, they they giving Mariah Agapova, somebody who's got 3 knockouts in boxing already. So I hope she's ready. I hope she's ready for that one, man. Hey, BJ, what's up, man? BJ said, I'm interviewing a UAE fighter in a couple of weeks, Indian fighter. Okay, cool. Yeah, UAE got some, UAE usually has the hookup on some good promising fighters, man. So that's good. That's good. Yeah, this looks like a good boxing card, all women's card. Okay, let's see one. Oh, yeah. And Katarina Lehner is also coming into boxing. She fighting 140. Okay. Yeah, y'all remember Katarina Lehner, right? In the Tough House. I know my hardcores remember BJ, right? Marcus, Invicta FC fighter. Katarina Lehner, the German girl. Did she get into the UFC or did she just get to the yeah, she was in Ultimate Fighter House. Sorry. Yeah, she was in Ultimate Fighter House, but she never got signed to the UFC, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Katarina Lehner is making her. Well, this is actually going to be her 3rd fight in boxing, but they're putting her on the card. Okay, so you got her. Let me see. You got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches, and I'm definitely tuning into the main event though. That's definitely what I'm checking out. But yeah, Agapova's on the main card, yo. As a debut, she's the 4th fight from the main event. So they're using a little bit of the UFC star power there. Do you think Agapova wins her first boxing match, y'all? She might be fighting a killer in there. She's fighting a girl with all knockouts, even though it is 3-0. Might get. I'm hoping the best for her. You know, I ain't trying to wish bad on Agapova. I ain't trying to think bad. I hope Agapova gets a victory, man. You know, she didn't, make it into the UFC high level. I hope she can get something. Hope she can get something going. Okay. Oh yeah, and Friday at 9 p.m. This is gonna collide with Alicia Baumgartner's card. You got the main event. Sandy Ryan taking on Michaela Mayer. Michaela Mayer moving up the welterweight to fight Sandy Ryan. Okay. Michaela, Alicia Baumgartner still kind of going at it. They got cards on the same day. And from my understanding, Sandy Ryan and Michaela Mayer got some serious beef going on too. So this should be a good fight. So yeah, you got a lot of good WMMA fights. You got a lot of good women's boxing. The whole women's boxing card. Interesting stuff. Cage Fury. Saturday at 9 p.m. Lorraine Santos versus Luz Vasquez. They're the co-main event. So you got another couple of women co-main on this Cage Fury FC card. Let me see, Laura Dillon versus Michaela Rampage. I've seen Michaela Rampage before, or Mikala Rampage. I've seen her fight before. Lorraine Santos. I've seen her fight. This Brazilian fighter. Yeah, she's fought in Bellator. Yep. Okay. Yeah. That's a featherweight fight too. Los Vasquez undefeated. Hmm. Hey. Okay. I know I'm kind of digging deep here for fights, y'all, but it's hey, they're free for me. I mean, I ain't got to pay per view, so I'm gonna be up watching something. XFC. Oh snap! Any women's fights on there? Nah, but still, a lot of cards, man. A lot of cards coming up this weekend from Thursday throughout the whole weekend, man. Feel like I'll be missing stuff sometimes. But yeah, BJ, that's good. Get some interviews, talk to some fighters. They'll understand like our media is their promotion. Even though if I don't reach out to fighters like that, I mean, I like to reach out to fighters, and I like to reach out to fighters and, you know, just kind of put people on game. Not really about just getting them on just to get them on for shock value and stuff like that. But I like to put people on game to hear what the fighters have to say sometimes. I haven't done that in a while, though. We'll see, though, man. It's been 3 years since I felt like interviewing fighters, but, we'll see. We'll see. Agapo been having a string of bad luck. Yeah, Marcus, she has, man. She's had a bad string, man. Bad string. I hope she can get back in the mix, but I don't know. We'll see. A lot of cards equal more TVs to watch them on. Oh yeah, Marcus, I'm gonna have an iPhone out. I'm gonna have a laptop going. I'm gonna have the TV going. I'm gonna have the other TV going. I'm gonna have a little notebook. No, I'm gonna have probably like the most I ever set up is 3. Let me ask y'all that as fight fans, what's the most screens you had going? Hey Paul, what's up, man? Like how many screens have y'all as big fight fans, how many screens have y'all had going at once when you're trying to watch fights? BJ, I know BJ's a hardcore fan, but I think he might just settle with one. Like I think too many might overwhelm him. I'm just guessing for him, but I'm gonna say BJ might just be old fashioned and do one. Robot said 2, maybe 3. Dang, Marcus said 6. Marcus said he got that. He got that. Like, what's his name? Dr. Claw set up from Inspector Gadget. I don't know why that popped in my head. He got that Dr. Claw set up where you sitting behind the desk and you got all them TVs in front of you, or you just have the sports bar set up. No, I'll say. Paul said I'll do only 2. I'll do only 2 at once, if that. Aaron might say only my 2 phones when I'm going in. Sometimes I'm combined with my laptop, but usually just one. Okay. Yeah, Marcus got us. Marcus got us all beat. Marcus is the pound for pound on that one because at most I'll do 3. At most I will do 3. Like even when I'm doing a fight companion with y'all, I'm low key like just alternating. My neck is just turning. Like at most for me, I'll do 3. I'll do a phone on the side if there's like a boxing match I really want to see. And it depends. Like if the boxing match is something I really want to see, I put it on the big screen. I do it on levels. All right. The fight I really want to see, I put on the big screen, and then I just go down from there. Like the next level goes to the laptop, and then the lowest level goes to the phone. That's how it goes with me. The level of significance of a fight goes by the screen. It goes by the screen. Like we going back to boxing. Spence Crawford, I put on the big screen that night, and then the UFC goes on the laptop, and then the Bellator is on that goes on the phone, right? Canelo went on the phone last week. I ain't gonna lie. Valentina and Grasso, they were on the big screen. I used to be a huge I still am a huge boxing fan, but with Canelo fighting them cherry picks, Marcus, I said no. Canelo goes on the phone this time. He got demoted. You hear that, Six? I know Six heard that. Yeah. Canelo went on the phone. Canelo got demoted to my iPhone while Grasso Shevchenko was on the big screen. Dang, 6 at 5 phone, five screens. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Hey, as long as you can get them in, get it going. But I still have to go back and watch fights. I still wind up having to watch stuff again. So, because I can't focus clearly on them. But yeah, yeah, it's fun. It is fun to do that sometimes. All right. Let me post. Let's see. What do we got next, y'all? This weekend. Now we can look at some UFC fights. Give me 1 second here. Street Beefs goes on the projector. I listen to the audio of the UFC title fights through one earbud. Okay. Yeah, I actually don't well, yeah, if I'm like working and doing something, I'll keep the I'll keep the earbud in, but for the most part I don't listen. But he forgot to say, yeah, what's up, G Frame? He said Street Beast goes on the projector. You got that junk on the projector while UFC is playing too, man. He got the whole atmosphere. At least it ain't bum fights. Y'all remember bum fights from like 20 years ago? That junk was harsh. That was some raw crap right there. Um Hold on. Okay. Street beefs and yeah, Paul, you street beefs, man. There's one girl, I told y'all last time, there's one girl out of street beefs that she could actually be a fighter now. People ain't listening, but this girl could be a fighter. She could. Air might say, quick question: who do you see winning, Chanel versus Katsini? I'll go with Chanel Dyer. I'll go with Chanel Dyer. Valentina Scazzini, she's a little pressure fighter, but I don't have a lot of I don't have a let me see. I don't have a lot of like. That's the best way to put it with Cassini. I think Cassini can reach a certain level, but I see leaky defense, Air might. So I think Chanel Dyer might find that open and get her out of there early. Like I was saying, if you missed that earlier. Yeah. Easy, what's up? He said just got in and seen you were live. Oh yeah, that's right. Easy E said he actually Easy wants to get on and talk in a minute. All right. Well, hang back, Easy. Stay cool, because I know you wanted to speak on the video I did. So hang back if you got time. I'm just kind of running through some, fight talk here. Fight week is here. So yeah. G Frank said hostility. Yeah, hostility. That's how I'm talking about. Hostility. Yes. Hostility. Let's talk about hostility for a minute. I'm looking up something right now. So give me a second. Hostility, ain't she a monster? The girl kind of remind me of Canelo or something, man. Like the way she be in there just putting pressure on girls with her punches, man. Yeah, Hostility signed to BKFC. What? Oh, wow. But she disappeared. Wait, but she since disappeared from social media. Wow. Okay. Yeah, Hostility, man, like there's some hope in that girl. Like I wouldn't say Hostility's this fighter that is like, promising like that, but she kind of got like a Macy Barber thing going for her. She kind of thick, and that's her name. Thick, her, her moniker is what her phrase is: thick but quick. Yeah, I've been watching, man. I've been watching. Okay, all right. Easy said we can save for the next stream. All right, however you want to do it. Hey, I'll be here tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow for a little bit. We can discuss that tomorrow, because that is I don't want I don't want to feel like I get on here. I don't want to feel like I'm cheating you out of a link either. You got something to say? Sure. Always happy to oblige. Just if you're tired from work, because if you want to get on, I know you must have something interesting to say about that whole situation. I know it pissed some people off. I don't care. I don't really care. Like That's why I said what I said, because I think it was a missed opportunity. All right, let me take some time here just to kind of read what y'all talking about here. Yeah, G Frame done got me on hostility. Now he talking about hostility. I mean, y'all need to check her out. In Street Beefs though. A six said Weili versus Valentina 2025. I hope not. I got too much going on, man. Got too much invested in these other girls right now. Well, I ain't got nothing invested, but my eyes do. My eyes want to see good fights. Oh man, yeah, them bum fights. Oh wow, yeah, I remember that guy 6 bling bling. Oh man, that was just another error right there. Okay, let me see here. I was hype on hostility. I really thought that girl could get some money in BKFC. So is she not fighting in BKFC? I know you say she disappeared off social media. Did she disappear like she training, or she just laying back, or did she get a bad contract already and did she back out? What's the deal on that? Like, did she just sign recently, you mean? Zama said a bold prediction. What's up, Zama? He said Shevchenko, Weili in November, December. I actually I actually think they would do something crazy like Weili versus Macy or something, just to get her into the division. I don't know if Valentina will come back. Um, I really don't know if Valentina will come back. Well, she has before, right? Valentina fought in September and December before, so it's possible. It's highly possible. Now, if they do it this time, and Valentina win that fight, that better be a fight where Manon actually just does it by her own will, gets in that cage and say, how you gonna go in here and wash somebody like Weili? Especially if she like wash Weili, you better go in there and show out. You better go in there and show out. G Frame says she announced it that she signed a few months back, but her IG is now deactivated. Okay, maybe she working. Maybe she really is signed, and maybe she's focused. She gonna hang on one second, y'all. Okay, I'm just taking a look here. We better hope that Weili doesn't end up fighting Tabitha Ricci. Oh man, that I already told you what I would do. I got an echo. Hold on. Hot take: Eremite said Bruna Brazil had the coldest female knockout in Dana White's Contender Series. Fight me. Um, her and Dubin. It's a runner up between her and Dubin. I mean, that knockout over Marnik Man it's still memorable, but so is the Dubin knockout over Shannon Clark. I think both of those are cold knockouts. But yeah, head kick like that, man. I don't know, man. Yeah, when you knock somebody with a head kick like that, that was cold. I can't. If you have it as number one, I definitely ain't disagree on that, man, for sure. That one is not that. Yes, yeah. Yeah, Dana's going to start a boxing promotion, y'all. He is going to start a boxing promotion. He is trying to get. I mean, he had already started it before that Zuffa boxing, but I think he feels like the time is now. I mean, that was like 8 years ago when I heard about it. Like 7 years ago, Dana White had been talking about that. But now he actually wants to do it. Marcus said, "I'm done watching WMMA if that happens. If Weili Ricci happens." Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at some fights this weekend. We got two bantamweight fights, and then we got two more over the next weekend as well. Let's go ahead and jump on this one here, y'all. We've got Nora Cornolle taking on Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Just so y'all know, this is a rematch. This is a rematch to their fight early in their career. I mean, they're still early in their career, but I'm talking like pre-UFC. All right. Jacqueline Cavalcanti is actually stepping in. Jacqueline Cavalcanti is actually stepping in for GDR. She's stepping in for GDR, just so y'all know. Shout out to Cavalcanti. She hungry. She ready to work. I guess she said, hey, hit me up. I'll do it. And yeah, here we are. She's in here ready to take on Cornolle. I like this matchup. I like this one. I've been talking up Cavalcanti's striking, but you got to look at Cornolle. Cornolle, tough boxer, tough Thai boxer, very tough skill set. This girl here is, we can almost say she's undefeated too. She's 8-1. Of course, she's undefeated in the UFC. Her only loss is her debut to Cavalcanti. So this is kind of a plus for Cornolle. Nora Cornolle can actually get back early in her career. She didn't have to wait for this one. Until they both got ranked. Nora Cornolle, she actually gets some redemption, revenge, however you want to look at it, early. They fought, just so y'all know, 3 years ago, and it was Nora Cornolle's MMA debut. She dropped the decision to Cavalcanti. All right. That was July 2021, says here. That was Jacqueline Cavalcanti's second fight. So yeah, they both were green. And of course, they're not the most polished now. Well, they're more polished than they were before, but it's not like I said, they're elite level yet, but they both got some UFC experience now. Cavalcanti became a bantamweight champion at LFA. She's fought for UAE. She's fought for PFL. Lost that fight in PFL. A couple fights in the UFC now. Cornolle has 2 fights in the UFC. She's fought for UAE as well. So she's been around. I like this fight. I do. I think both of these fighters have decent resumes. They both only have 1 loss apiece. I think Cornolle is more action. She's got technique in there, don't get me wrong, especially coming in against a striker, a fellow striker. I think that she's got a lot of technique and that explosiveness. She's got power. So Cavalcanti really can't count Cornolle out. Things have changed since they fought before. I think, Cavalcanti, she's a more educated striker. I think overall, like MMA style, I think hers fits MMA a little bit better. The way she moves and the way she, is quick to throw a combination, get out. But I see Cavalcanti get touched too, so Cornolle definitely has a chance. She has a chance to hurt her. The body attack of Cornolle is there, putting on a lot of pressure. She's strong. Her tie clinch. Cornolle has a very good tie clinch. As I talk about it now, it kind of makes my pick more so go in the middle somewhere, and I start to kind of lose confidence. But no, Cornolle is dangerous. Cornolle is dangerous, man. She knocked my girl out. Melissa Mullins. I picked Melissa Mullins. She beat Jocelyn Edwards. I think she was about to be game to do something against GDR. I don't know if she's gonna win that, but still, this girl been looking stronger. That's the one thing I'll say about Cornolle. This girl look powerful. She does look powerful. Not to say Cavalcanti don't. Cavalcanti, she's strong too. She's got good, good pop on her shots. She handled a, big fighter in Melissa Croden in LFA. Josiane Nunes, she put some good work in. I thought that was unanimous, not split. She beat a big fighter in Zara Farron. Josiane Nunes, that fight, was just last month. Dang, so she coming back 1 month later. So Cavalcanti is not really I don't think she should be feeling worn. I'm hoping that this ain't like a Luana Santos type mistake. Luana Santos jumped in there and fought Casey O'Neill on short notice. I think Cavalcanti will be a little bit smarter as far as how she approaches this fight. Technique wise, I do lean towards Cavalcanti, but Cornolle, she can make it interesting. I think she's kind of the wild card here. Style is a little bit more energetic, and she will force the fight. So I think Cavalcanti got to be ready for throwing her own jab, leg kicks, and look for some uppercuts. She threw one in that last fight. I was saying, hey, if she do that more in this fight, it could be interesting. Body kicks from Cornolle is going to be a big part, though. But I really don't know in this one, man. I'm going to lean towards Jacqueline. But with her not having a full fight camp, I wouldn't be surprised, man, if Cornolle took this one. I really wouldn't be surprised if Cornolle took this one. You know, she's been training full camp. She was training for a higher level striker in GDR. So I ain't going to be shocked if she was able to get this one. I really wouldn't. I do lean more towards Cavalcanti. Like my full-on pick, if you ask me, I'll say Cavalcanti. I think there's I think there's potential there too, easy. Yeah, I'm going to go with Cavalcanti when it comes down to it. Who do y'all got, though? Who do y'all got in this one? I'm going to go with Cavalcanti. What about y'all? I already know Paul going for Nora. I ain't even got to look. See, there you go. Let's go Nora. See? Air might say, yeah, not going to lie, head kick KOs are pretty rare. That's why it's the coldest. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Brian, good fight. This is a good fight. G Frame said, I think that was the first time I saw Morning Man. Air might say, as a fellow French and her birthday twin, I'm rooting for Nora, but I won't be mad if Jacqueline wins. Paul said, revenge. Six said, need that Christy Martin energy in the UFC. Everybody said, my heart wants Nora to win rather than Jacqueline, but my head thinks Jacqueline might be winning, at least on the feet. I think Nora needs to take it to the floor. I think if Nora takes it to the floor, it's going to be interesting. But I also think that if it goes into a tie clinch, Nora definitely has a good chance. Nora's best chance, I think, is in the pocket and in that phone booth. You know, Cavalcanti likes to fight from the outside. We haven't really seen her inside game or ground game tested yet in the UFC. So Cornolle using strength and clinch control could be game here. Knees to the body, elbows to wear Cavalcanti down. So that might be their plan. I'm high on Cavalcanti. I see potential. Yeah. Everybody says tough, but both my fighters here. Paul said, carefully, if you see Casey O'Neill 3 times, BJ will appear. Oops, I said it twice. I said Casey O'Neill a 3rd time. BJ was already in here, though. He was in here. Cavalcanti is a better long-term investment if we're being pragmatic. Yeah. All right. So that's the question. Who y'all got before I move to the next one? Y'all got Nora or Jackie? So you got 15 of y'all in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. And who you picking? Who you picking on this one? Yeah, bantamweight ain't the best, but bantamweight ain't the best right now. But these girls right here making it interesting. You know, Josiane Nunes, Cavalcanti, Melissa Mullins, and Nora, Dariya, Casey No Neal. Both can beat the champ, in my honest opinion. Wow. Ooh. Those are bold words right there, Mike. But you just never know. If they don't present like a ground game to these type of strikers, it could be a problem. You just never know. But Rocky's her submission game is kind of slept on. Don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that, though. All right, let me see here. Oh, yeah, Easy had said, I agree with you about it. But I saw Val's side of it, too. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's why I said, when I was looking at it, I definitely seen, like, that's the whole point of what I was talking about, Easy, in the video. Like, Valentina wasn't at fault. Like, she wasn't 100% at fault there. You know, like, I think the UFC kind of dropped the ball on that for sure. Like, the UFC as a whole, like, it personally wasn't Valentina, like, all in, but I just felt like, even Valentina, if she was ready to move on and, like she said, take on new faces, it would have been nice to acknowledge that. Like, if she wants to get back to a higher level of pay-per-view cards and stay on there, because, like, like Chael said, last year she was main event. This year co-main, but from here it'll kind of go down, especially after that performance. I think it would have been wise to, go ahead and kind of build up her next move, like you build up a fight. I build up a movie or whatever. That's how I kind of saw it. Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Here's the next one. Ailin Perez versus Dariya Zalesnikova. Pull this up. Ailin Perez, last fight. Let's see. She's 10-2. Her last fight was back in June. So that's a good turnaround time, about 3 months. Got her a nice little win streak in the UFC. She's 3-1 now. Lost her debut, but since then she bounced back with 3 hard-earned fights. Ashley Evans Smith, Lucy Pudilova in that grudge match with Jocelyn Edwards. Dariya Zalesnikova, 9-1. Hard hitter. She's a hard hitter. She's fought Melissa Mullins before they got into the UFC. Won her debut against Mosrat. Tight fight. Heavy-handed girl. She's got some good action about her. I like this fight. I think that this is another one where somebody gonna come out with a mouse under both eyes, maybe one, maybe two. I don't know. I just keep seeing like busted faces in this fight here, man. Like these girls both, both of these fighters can dish it out. I will give Ailin Perez credit there. Like I may not be a fan of her twerking thing, but she does fight. Like I can't knock her fight. Like she will fight. She does have the heart to fight. That's one thing I don't want people to ever feel like I'm gonna say about Ailin Perez. Like Ailin Perez is a fighter. Like anybody that gets in there, bangs, and works hard to do it, I don't take away from that. Just I just don't like the twerking. That's why I just don't pay attention to that. But yeah, Perez. She's a fighter. But in this one, I do like the style of Dariya Zalesnikova. I followed her a little bit more. She's a heavy-handed fighter. And I think if she's able to keep this standing and avoid the ground here and avoid the judo of Perez, she could get herself a possible stoppage win. She's, let me see, I know this girl's kind of long, so I'm trying to look at her size. Yeah, she's 5'9". Dariya Zalesnikova, she has to use her height and reach here. She's a long, big fighter. 5'9". That's tall for bantamweight. That's a good size for bantamweight. So I'm thinking, if she keeps her long jab out and uses that reach, she can make some problems for Ailin Perez. But on the real, Ailin Perez, she has been getting a little bit more well-rounded. Like based off her 3 fights, I've seen progression. I've seen progression with her hands. As far as like putting combinations together and getting takedowns, taking Jocelyn Edwards down. When she gets taken down, Ailin Perez has the ability to reverse and scramble. So I think Ailin Perez is a little bit more proven there. And so even though I am a fan of Dariya Zalesnikova, like I could see Perez winning this fight. I can see Ailin Perez definitely winning this one because there's more to her. Easy said, I want Perez to lose just so I don't have to see her nasty twerk. That's the one thing. Like we all know, like that's a guarantee. If she wins, that's what's going to happen. That's why I'm like, oh man, like I gotta root for Dariya here, man. Let me see. Dariya got finished by Melissa Dixon. She beat before that. She had beat Liana Jojua. Y'all remember her? And she's got a few stoppages on her resume. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she got like 4. A couple of them are early knockouts. She has a first round knockout. So yeah, she got a little bit of power to her. Got to be more committed to her defense and just moving. I think in a fight like this, I know in the Montserrat Rendon fight, she was facing somebody that was wanting to throw more, throw strikes, and stand up. So, yeah, I don't know. This fight's going to answer a lot of questions of both, but I'm rooting for Dariya Zalesnikova. But again, this is another one. Like Ailin Perez, she's got more than enough tools to win this, though. Yeah, same thing. Easy. I do see Perez kind of going through the motions of a little bit of everything here. Um, I see her landing and doing some damage, and then eventually getting the fight to the ground, just on the real. Paul said ground and pound TKO. That could be in the cards. Yeah, that could be in the cards. I believe that's how Melissa Mullins beat her before. Oh boy, at least Perez will call out and name if she wins. Yeah, she will. She will. She will. I just hope she don't call out Valentina or something ridiculous. You know, fighting fighting somebody like who would be ideal for Ailin Perez next. Hey, Misha Tate. Like you see that now that's doable. If she calls out somebody like Misha Tate, yeah, that was an early stoppage, Paul. It was early. It was an early stoppage, but I still take that into consideration. Yeah. Because I think we watched it over here one time. Yeah. I think Ailin Perez, like, ideal if she's I'm gonna focus on her because she wants to call people out now, and we know if she wins, she's gonna call people out. I would say ideal for Ailin Perez would be somebody like Misha Tate next. If you want to put her name out there, call out somebody in that lower half. Yeah. At some point, Ailin Perez versus Kayla. It all depends, if Kayla is gonna still be around when she gets there, but that's not too far off. I think Ailin Perez might get ranked off of this fight, even though Dariya is not ranked. I think that this might push her up somewhere to get her ranked because this will be her fourth fight. If she wins, this will be her fourth win, so it could get her ranked. It could get her ranked. I know BJ was saying he thinks Ailin Perez could have a good chance against Kayla. I think I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it made it sound like she. I mean, yeah, she would be tough by taking the fight, but I don't know if she gives Kayla like work. I don't know if she does. I don't know if she gives Kayla work like that. Okay, so yeah, I'm rooting for Dariya in this fight, but I think I'm gonna have to go with I think I'm gonna go with Perez, man. Who do y'all got in this one? All right, who do y'all got? Perez or I don't feel like typing out Zalesnikova, so I'm gonna just type Dariya. Who do y'all got? Perez or Dariya? Norma with Butcher Pena, she's not fighting Kayla. Yeah. I had to think about it. I don't know. I was thinking Pena. I was thinking of Pena there, Robot. But yeah, Robot. I think Norma would beat Perez. Robot said Perez only off experience. Pretty much. Yeah, I got to go with experience. It's not nothing. It ain't anything like, oh, she's really out of her league. It's just a level of experience. Easy said Perez. Zaman said Perez. Yeah, I think we all going with Perez on this one. Paul says Perez, and it ain't because we want to see her to work. Like, well, speaking for me, it definitely ain't saying I want to see her to work. That's definitely not why I'm picking her. Brian said, yeah, Perez might grind it out. Kayla versus Ailin is Hulk versus Loki in Adventures 1. Yeah, Dariya looked kind of weak in the ring fight. Yeah, she didn't look her best. She definitely looked. Didn't look. Definitely didn't look. Have like a aura about her to make her look dominant moving forward. So she's definitely got some holes in there. And yeah, I'll go with Perez. Yeah. But yeah, looking ahead, man. Looking ahead here, we do have some more bantamweight fights. And I thought it'd be funny to post this up here. This was what over 10 years ago now. Team Tate. Yeah, 2013. This was Tough 18, I believe. Yeah, Tough 18, the Ronda Rousey Misha Tate show. Yeah, I had I saw the pictures. I said, let me post this up, man. So the way they had this set up, I was like, oh, that's funny. Kind of shows you it was long overdue because even though they were on the same team, they didn't have the best relationship, right? And I think if Rocky had been on Rousey's team, they probably definitely would have. They definitely would have fought. They definitely would have fought. But now, but now, now that it's going down, they can finally kind of let that beef go, and handle some business. So James, they were they were bunk buddies, because Zama said both Team Tate, they both were on Team Tate, yep. hmm they were sharing the same room, and they didn't really have a good relationship. I remember Pena was always talking, and Rocky kind of made it look like she was always yapping and yapping. Um, Easy said, if you thought Pena is annoying now, you should have seen her then. Oh man, like I actually could take her back then because I thought she was a good fighter and she was winning, which she is now. I mean, she's still a good fighter, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, back then I like that energy she was bringing. I kind of, at the time, I kind of felt for her. I kind of felt like people were against her and weren't giving her credit at the time. And sometimes when she was just talking, I ain't gonna lie, like sometimes I would just kind of flip it. Then when the fights would come on, I'd be rooting for her again. I was always kind of a fan of what she was bringing to the table then. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the physicality of Pena here, she kind of has a body built for MMA. It's like, it's not like your textbook shape, and that's definitely not a knock. I'm not saying like, yeah, she looks good physically. Yeah, like some of y'all saying, yeah, Robot Chicken says she's nice looking. Yeah, James did too. He had to admit that. Yeah, like I like Pena's shape too, man. Like the girl's in really great shape, but her build and her frame is kind of different than other fighters, and that's kind of a compliment. I won't say kind of. It is a compliment. It is a compliment. Like it's unusual. Her shape is unusual because it's almost like it's built for MMA. The long arms. I don't know, some about the hips, the way she's built. That's why she's a good pressure fighter and a good wrestler. Even her stance, is how she kind of generates power from her jab, and that's why when she learned how to jab and throw those basic punches, it became effective because she started using her body, that torque in her hips. But yeah, she definitely has a good build for mixed martial arts. It has worked for her. I think the one thing that's just kind of been holding her up is because of the reckless fighting at times. But that's definitely something got to mention though. Yeah, I'm glad y'all brought that up. Yeah, because physicality definitely is nice. Rocky definitely not. She's more textbook, like what you see most women look like that are fit. She's always been in good shape. I think there have been times where thought Rocky put on the weight, at the featherweight, but I think Pena has better shape here. But yeah, Pena better win. Coach said Pena better win with all that talk. Yeah. Robot said that long layoff is going to affect Pena. Combo, do you remember having ring rust? You remember her having ring rust against Nico, and she was younger than she won, but looked off. Yeah, I remember. And we talked about that. I talked about that over at BJ stream last night. That was if you missed that last night, Robot, I brought that up. We were talking about her long layoff. Like I said in the stream over there, I think Juliana Pena could have benefited off of fighting someone else, right? I think Pena, and that's the one thing about Pena. Pena, she throws her chips, she throws in her chips all the time. She'll throw them all in. She don't care if she lose them all. She's a gambler like that, and that's what kind of kills her sometime in there. But I just think she would have benefited the fight because she fought somebody else, could have seen how her body was, worked on some things, but jumping right back in after having a broken rib and 2 wars, I feel like she's not going to be that same Rocky. Like, she will fight at a more maybe patient, technical pace that could favor Rocky. That's kind of what I see. But there is going to be some cage rust there. I think there's going to be some cage rust. Um, maybe if Pena has something more going for her, maybe she feels like she can draw Amanda out of retirement for a third fight if she wins the belt. Maybe that might make her rise to the occasion. But she's suffered some damage, and that's what I still need to see her come back from. Could she win? Yeah, she can win. She could definitely win this fight. I think she's got the skills, but we'll see. Easy E said, I miss Nico. If Nico could have been active, she could have beat Pena. Yeah. Nico was a fellow dog. Like, Nico in that Tough House, she used to run it, man. Like, I had my at the time, I had it coming down to Sarge and Nico back then, and I think Nico would have probably gotten it. I thought Nico was that one back then, but things just didn't go her way. It's weird how her career just took such a weird turn, man. Like, she was in there, man. She was in there. Rocky versus Jessamine Duke. Yeah, that was a good fight, James. I remember that. That was a good fight. Everybody said I heard Rocky protected her from bullying or something at the time. Yeah, I gotta kind of go back and look at like the history behind that. Like if Rocky really did or was she really being bullied like that. It's been so long, man. I mean, yeah, that's how long these two been in the game too, man. So this is what I'm talking about too. Like, when we talking about these fighters that been here for a long time, Pena and Rocky over a decade now. So yeah, bantamweight is long overdue, man, for a new crop of bantamweights. Not saying that these girls can't fight anymore, but the evidence is there. I mean, if some girls aren't able to show up, if there's inactivity, like you see girls are getting hurt now. It's been 2 years since Pena fought. Who else is there to look forward to? Irene Aldana is taking a lot of damage. She's taking a lot of damage now. So it's kind of like, what are we going to, who else is there to watch? Like, what else we're going to look forward to? So yeah, these fighters, they've been around for a minute now. When you put that date on it and when I show this picture, y'all like, oh, dang, is that them? And actually they haven't aged that much. They really haven't. Like, Pena still looks good. Rocky still looks good, for the most part. Easy said James come. Closer said, do you see a stoppage in this fight or does it go to the scorecards? I actually see a submission. I can see a submission going either way in this fight. Because I'll be making that mistake. I'll be underestimating Rocky's submission game sometimes, and then I forget about Pena's recklessness. So I'm not sure if I see a TKO or knockout in this fight. I could lean more towards submission. I could see Pena submitting Rocky from behind, like a rear naked. Or I could see Rocky submitting Pena, maybe guillotine, rear naked on her end. Yeah, I could see submission. I could see submission on both sides. Now, if I had to really pick like TKO, like somebody not answering like a barrage, that would be Pena. I would give that to Pena. I think Pena could TKO Rocky. Neither one of them, I don't think, knocks the other out cold or anything like that. But being real, I think Pena getting Rocky in the right position and doing the right amount of damage could lead to unanswered blows, maybe some damage where they have to stop it. I see something more like that, but submission, I would say more so like on both sides. I think both of them have a good game there, as far as grappling and Rocky, I think that's what some people kind of overlook with her now, And I think Rocky's going to be looking for mistakes. Paul says scroll up for a question. All right. I'm going to scroll up for a question here. Hold on. Dang. Oh, here it is. Do you think Tisha winning or losing will affect Rocky's mindset later that night? Oh, yeah, that's right. They're on the same card. Will it affect? I think it depends on how she loses. I'm not trying to, that's not really a cop-out answer, but I'm just saying, like, I think if like Tisha Torres lost like a decision, it really wouldn't bother Rocky as much. But have Tisha go in there and get hurt, which I don't think she would. I don't think Tisha's tough as crap. You know, that girl's durable. It had to be something crazy, like if she broke her arm or something like that. But I don't think it's going to affect Rocky's mindset later that night. I think Rocky will still fight. I think when Rocky's in there focused on one thing and she's focused on the fight, she's focused on that. Everybody said, please save that division. Save that division and its fans from boredom. Yeah, I think if Pena is consistent, she does bring good energy. That's why I asked that question in the poll, man. I asked that question earlier in the poll, you know, on my channel, you know, has the division gotten a little bit more exciting? And I think it has. Like, I think bantamweight from last year to now is a little bit more interesting because you got a lot of fighters that are starting to talk now. And not just talk, you got some fighters that like to perform, that like to show up and act out, you know, go in there and look for big wins. Like, there have been some exciting performances here, even on the unranked level. So I just hope that those fighters continue to carry it up as they go up the rankings. But yeah, I think that for the most part, it's picked up from last year. It still could be better. Maybe if Pena sticks around now, this will make it interesting because people hate Pena, people love Pena. So a lot of people hate her though, you know, when it comes down to her talk. So it's going to be something, man. It's going to be something. Now you got Kayla too. Kayla's fighting on the same, you know, Kayla's on the same card. So with Kayla Harrison here and Rocky Pennant, you know, Kayla Harrison taking on Vieiria. Everybody I know that wants something new, they're banking on Kayla, right? To me, hey, if Ketlin wins, good. You know, she'll have earned it. If Kayla Harrison is able to win, okay, that's good. That's good for the division. But if Ketlin wins, I'm sure she'll have definitely earned it, right? They won't rob Ketlin in this one. Like, if she goes in there and dominates, and boom, that's her victory. It's hers to own. But yeah, there has been a level of excitement brought back, but it's still kind of working itself out because, you know, again, even the title fight, you know, the title fight is two fighters that have been around the game for over 10 years now. So we'll see how explosive it's going to be. You know, as you get older, Rocky's up there in fight years now, right? Rocky's up there in fight years, man. Let's be real. So she's going to be fighting at a pace to try to save herself some more years, maybe. I know she has been looking forward to retirement soon. Now she got a family and everything. And at 36 years old, she's been in wars. So will it be exciting? You know, I'm not sure. Pena, we can always depend on her trying to make for a good fight. So there is excitement there. And when they start throwing other fighters back in the mix against the younger fighters on the come up, like like I said, when you start mixing it up, like Jacqueline versus Misha Tate, something like that, or Melissa Mullins versus Irene Aldana, or what is her name? What's the other girl's name? Nora Cornolle taking on Macy Chason, or, you know, Chelsea Chandler, throwing her in there with some of these other fighters as well. It'll start to get interesting. Start weeding girls out, but they got to get better first. Yeah, Paul, bantamweight is getting a little bit better from where we were at last year. Yeah, thanks to those performances too from Carol Rosa and Irina Aldana. Like, even though Irina Aldana may not be going for the belt anymore, they did help bring out some excitement. Kayla Harrison did. Norma, can't forget Norma. Yeah, Norma Dumont's in the mix now. So yeah, like, got a little bit better. Got a little bit better. I'm not as frustrated like most are. I can deal with this for right now because flyweight is still where my eyes are right now. I don't think I could handle two dope divisions right now, so I'm not too overwhelmed. Strawweight started to pick it up again. You got Marina Rodriguez, Yasmin Lucindo, and Carla and Tisha fighting. So you got a lot of good fights. Verna and Suarez. Easy said Bantamweight is a senior home these days. You got some. It was more so last year. It was more so last year, but now you got some new fighters in there, and I think eventually they'll start getting wiped out, and it'll be time. It'll be time because, like I was saying, there's a lot of girls here been around maybe too long. been around a little too long. Yeah, close from Ketlin. Ketlin is she's got to be on her game, man. We had a good talk about that in BJ stream yesterday. Ketlin's got to be on her game. Like, experience wise, she could win the fight. Tools wise, she could win the fight. But when has Ketlin Vieiria ever really like pulled that trigger on a girl and just blew her head off? Let's look at Ketlin's resume. Like, I'm glad she's got this fight because I wanted to see Kayla Harrison get another fight, and Ketlin was the only one that really called her out. Ketlin's a big girl at 5'8", 68-inch reach. But yeah, when on Ketlin Vieira's resume has she ever like cocked that gun and just boom, blew somebody's head off just blew them out. I'm gonna go back to her first win, Kelly Fashholz. It was a split decision. Ashley Evans Smith, she beat by decision. Somebody she was big enough to stop, I think. Okay, she submitted Sarah McMahon, and then she had a close fight with Kat Zingano. Close fight because maybe she was a little starstruck. So she got the tools now. She's got the tools to handle some fighters, but there's always been like a level of like holdback. And I'm hoping that in this fight, she lets all that pent up energy go and gives Kayla Harrison a good test. Okay, yeah, she beat Sarge. Of course, I could see that. Sarge was a little too small for bantamweight. Loses to Irina Aldana and Yana Santos. Beats Holly and Misha. Beats Panny. Loses to Rocky. Okay, so this might be MMA math that adds up. This might be MMA math that adds up here. What did I say yesterday, James? It was 50-50 for Kayla and Ketlin. I think I'm going 55-45 Kayla Harrison now, or maybe a little bit higher now, just because of that level of holdback. She's got more experience, but like I said, that gun is cocked, but she's hitting shoulders, she's hitting fingers and shoulders. Like, she ain't shooting for heads, she ain't shooting for the belly. Like, she ain't getting kill shots. All right. I'm a shooter, so I know she ain't getting kill shots like that. She ain't aiming where she's supposed to. She ain't getting that perfect round circle there. She's just she just ain't doing that. She just ain't doing that. So when I look at Kayla Harrison, she's improving, she's getting stronger, and she's always going for the kill. And now she was fighting like a high level striker with great takedown defense. I'm sure, yeah, that fighter would give Kayla problems all day, but I don't really know Ketlin as high level striker or somebody that believes in their power like that. Ketlin doesn't believe in her size and power like that. Like, she don't fight like a giant that can smash you. Like, if she was somebody known with long, like a Megan Anderson, like let's say if she was like a much polished Megan Anderson style of fighter with great takedown defense. She could boom line up a good right hand, but I don't I don't even think Ketlin lets her right hands go like that with full force power. So as I read the resume, that kind of makes me change it more. Like I just can't go off of experience here. I just can't go off of experience here because even though she's getting that experience, Kat, Holly, Misha, those were girls she should have finished at the time, in my opinion. I thought she was near finishing Misha Tate. Could have finished Misha early in that 5-round fight. Same with Holly. Like she probably could have submitted Holly, got Holly up out of there, and I think landing on Irene Aldana, she didn't stay committed. Like she did land some shots on Irene Aldana, but she gave Irene Aldana that room to hit her with that big one and she knocked her out, So Ermite said, isn't Ketlin the same fighter who got question mark kicked in TKO? Yeah, I just talking about that. Yeah, she got put up out of there, And I don't see Kayla Harrison like landing some type of big punch. My thing is like Kayla Harrison has the she's got the mindset and enough tools, I believe, as I'm looking again. Resumes aside, I think it just comes down to who's hungry here. Like who's hungry and who's gonna kill for their meal. Who's gonna kill for that meal. And Ketlin sometimes, I'm just not getting that vibe that she want to go in there and hurt somebody. Yeah, I'm just not getting that vibe from her, So 50-50 is gone now that I did my little math here. 50-50. I'm going to go 55-45, maybe 60-40 for Kayla Harrison now. Yeah. Ermite said, Ketlin made me believe Irene Aldana was championship material. She sold you a lemon, boy. You rode up out of there in a lemon. She said, hey, look at this. Plush seats, white walls. As soon as you drove that up out of there, that paint was wrecked. You drove it through the rain and your car got wrecked. Ketlin sold you a lemon. Easy said if she wasn't as big, it wouldn't be as easy to use the skill. Size and wrestling go hand in hand. Don't y'all know that? He said, James said, but if Kayla was smaller physically, she wouldn't be the same type of threat for sure. There's a lot of technique in what Kayla does too, man. Like I was looking at Kayla's I was kind of looking at what Kayla was doing as far as her stand-up game, working on the stand-up. I'm watching how she throws that head kick now after she's like rushing in. Once Kayla Harrison's kind of blitzing in on her opponent and they think she's just going to like take them down, she's actually pretty flexible and athletic how she gets that head kick up there. I know Colostrum know what I'm talking about. You've seen it, right? Like she did it to Holly. I was watching her training videos today. I was going back watching some training and I saw like, okay, like I see what Kayla Harrison's doing now. Like she's kind of mixing up the takedown approach. And then, she's mixing in those kicks, like throwing them as she's coming in. And it's working, it's working. So, well, we'll talk more about it next week as far as my full-on pick, but I'm hoping that again, Ketlen Vieira is gonna match the talk. I hope she matches the talk that she's been talking and brings a good fight. I hope she brings a good fight. Easy said, my question is, how long can she stay on that diet? As long as, she said, as long as she stays away from the ice cream and the sweets, she should be fine. That's what she says. But I'm looking at Kayla on IG, man. That girl got her back, man, like huge, man. Girl is huge. 135, man, like that's a killer weight. Yeah, that's a killer weight to make. Look at people that are like near 135. I'm not a huge person, so that's around close to my weight. So my son himself, with her making that weight as big as she is, that's a lot of weight to cut. That's a lot of weight to cut after so many fights. So I think Kayla Harrison kind of knows she's on a time clock with that. Like, I don't think she's gonna be committed to bantamweight much longer. Like, it's got to make sense. Like, I believe Kayla Harrison does have like a blue, she has like a little goal. Like, she has a goal to shoot for. Win the belt, maybe win the belt, and if it's Pena that is, yeah, win the belt. If especially if it's Pena, she's going after that. So win the belt and maybe fight one other fight, and then try to coax Amanda Nunes out of retirement, and then maybe see if they do like a featherweight thing or retire. That's what I see. Kayla is how much on fight night? I would say probably like, yeah, Jane. I would say 160 or higher, maybe 160, 165. I know Amanda was probably, I believe, what did Amanda say she got up to when she was like bantamweight, like 160 something, or maybe 150. Yeah, I think like Amanda was like 150 something. So I think that Kayla, yeah, would probably be like 160 something. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, yeah, 130. That's that. You look how much muscle that is. So yeah, that is something. Johnny says, "What's up, Johnny? I know you was in here earlier." Johnny said, "Who would you pick between Zhang Weili and Valentina in a flyweight title fight?" I would pick Valentina. I think Valentina's experience. Johnny said, Amanda's 36. Yeah, she's 36 now. Yeah, I would pick. Valentina. I think her pacing and her. I think just overall her pacing and experience, stand up on the feet, is still a big problem for Zhang Weili. I think Zhang Weili has been in some hard wars that kind of taken away some of that punch resistance and strike resistance. I think that's one reason that she does wrestle a lot. I think she wants to be more versatile as well. I think she likes wrestling. I think that's a craft that she wanted to master, but at the same time, I think that it's kind of it's a good alternative to avoid being dropped again. When you see Yan Janan drop her like 4 or 5 times, how many times she get dropped, Easy or James? Some of y'all got that number on lock. I always forget, but some of y'all posted Easy be like 4. I think it was 4, right? Yan Janan dropped her 4 times? Stuff like that, Johnny. I think that Yan Janan landing shots on her, years of wars, even taking shots from Rose, the head kick, that's a rattler. Shots from Joanna in that long fight. I think that takes some that takes some it takes a lot off you. So Valentina, who's a pinpoint striker, Weili's nowhere near as patient and polished of a boxer like Alexa Grasso to present problems like that. I think Weili has a lot of things Valentina's seen before. And I'll go back to this too, like James was talking about yesterday, brought up good points about Manon. I believe Valentina 100% has seen a lot of the things Manon Fiore is going to bring to the table. But the one thing that's going to help Manon is size, strength, and her takedown defense, right? And her patience. Like, I believe those are a lot of attributes that's going to help Manon in that fight. And that's a lot of stuff that Weili doesn't have sometimes. Like, Weili doesn't really have that high striking IQ like I believe Manon does. So there's going to be a lot of mistakes made on Weili's part in that strawweight fight. I mean, in that flyweight fight, if that happens. I think she's going to get caught. I think that Weili, being smaller, I think her being smaller is going to be an issue. Like, she won't be able to get takedowns like that. All of that's going to be open. That's why I never really wanted to see her move up like that, because Weili didn't just thrash everybody. Like, she outclassed and dominated and beat up like Lemos and those fighters like that. But she hasn't really like made me say strawweight's boring for her. Like there's still fighters at strawweight that make for good fights. Like when Weili starts picking her teeth with strawweights, you know what I mean? Like when she just starts picking her teeth with them and, oh, done with that one, who's next? Done with that one, who's next? Then you want to see her take a challenge, right? That's when you want to see Weili take that challenge. But as of right now, I think it's just more of a forced super fight. It's just a forced super fight. That's all it is. Like, I don't think there's girls in here that Weili is just completely over. She's just not completely over. Yeah, Johnny. Valentina used to be a bantamweight. Oh, yeah. You said, yeah, I think Valentina might be stronger than Manon. I think technically, in some ways, I think with her having to be smaller, and this is by experience, I'm going to say this, Johnny, and going off what you said too yesterday, James, I'm going to be honest, like, me being smaller, like it kind of forces me to be stronger in areas that bigger people aren't. I'll say that. Like naturally, when you bigger than me or you a bigger guy, of course you're gonna be stronger than me. If you naturally weigh more, you're gonna be stronger. But I ain't that, I'm not that huge. Like, but it forces like me, like I said, being smaller forces me to be stronger in certain areas and forces me to have to be able to handle my ground and my balance better. So sometimes when you're bigger, you're stronger, purely stronger just because you're bigger. But I think, yeah, technically Valentina could be a little, not pure strength, stronger than Manon, but strong enough that it surprises and it moves her. Yeah, like I could see that because, yeah, again, like me, yeah, I'm like, yo, when somebody's strong, I got to be on my game. I got to be on my game, man. Like it's strong, and that's why it surprises people. That's why it surprises people sometimes. Easy said, I'm not counting Val out against Manon, but Silva ends her. G Frame said, Jan John on book. Could they be planning to do a rematch? If they did a rematch in China, would y'all like that? Johnny said they're both counter strikers. Who leads the dance here? Leading the dance, I think Manon's going to be the one to try to lead here. I honestly do. I think Valentina feels like if it stays on the feet, she's going to get back in her comfort zone as a counter striker. So I think she might try to lead. Manon would try to lead a little bit more. Good question though, Johnny. That was a good question. Good. Yeah, good. Where you been, Johnny, man? I hope you subscribe. Yeah, you got some good conversation going. Always got some good conversation going. You knew or you just never spoke or what? Yeah, that's what I said, Robot. Good question. Could be a boring fight. It could be a boring fight too. Like, I think part of Grasso that made her style more explosive in there is because if you go back and look, even though Grasso didn't really like stop people, she did put combinations together as a boxer. She did, and even though she wasn't stopping girls, something in her kind of woke up in that Valentina fight to say, all right, like Valentina ain't really boxing like that, so let's lure her in. Let's lure her in with our timing and catch her in this southpaw stance. Man, that's what's crazy, man. That southpaw stance be killing fighters. Like Amanda Nunes switched to lefty on Pena, and Pena was getting dropped like crazy. Grasso switched lefty on Valentina. And that's what's nuts, man. Like, Valentina, we all see as a high level striker, but even her, you see how the left-handed style, you see how that lefty style is dangerous to even a fellow southpaw. That's crazy. That's why I said like Weili wouldn't win that fight against Valentina. I don't think she's gonna really pose like a threat like that. Like I don't see anything. Okay, yeah, Johnny says new. Well, welcome, man. I don't really see anything new that Weili's gonna bring to disrupt Valentina. Like size wise, that's already kind of counted against her. I know, yeah, she probably get big, little bit more muscular, but uh, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Yeah, James, Southpaw not used to fighting the Southpaw, right? Southpaw try to come in and be tricky, but then when they got to fight a Southpaw, it's trouble. Just like I hate to bring it up, James, but Spence Southpaw when he took on Crawford, man, I can't even watch that fight anymore. Easy said that's why MMA will always be inferior to boxing. Boxing may be trash, but the sweet science has always stood the test of time. I agree 100% with that. Like everybody knows that a boxer just can't come in as a boxer in MMA, right? But once you take the right fundamentals from boxing and put them in MMA, a lot of these MMA fighters they be in trouble because boxers I think boxers know patience a little bit more. MMA, I think MMA you see a lot of fighters with great cardio, durability, and toughness. We ain't taking that away, but when it comes to boxing, there's a level of patience. There's a level of patience, and even like I believe it was Sugar Ray Robinson. There's a level of patience and geometry. It's like a level of patience and natural geometry in boxing that I don't think MMA fighters will ever like understand. And it's like geometry, you have to study with your eyes. You know what I mean? Like visual geometry, like your pivots, your angles, taking your head off the line at the right time. It's not just throwing boxing, ain't just throwing punches, That's why like when Sean Strickland, I might do a video on that sometime, even like the Sean Strickland versus Izzy fight. Izzy is an MMA striker, but Sean Strickland took him to school with old school fundamentals, man. Did y'all notice that? Easy, I know you noticed that, right? Like Izzy's known as like this elite MMA striker, but Sean Strickland took him to school with just good old fundamentals of boxing, man. Took him to school with just good, good executed left hooks and just hitting him with the perfect shot at the right time, walking him down, just good stuff like that. And then Rose and Joanna, Joanna, great Muay Thai fighter, durability and so on. But soon as Rose started putting that little zigzag on her and leaping left with that left hook, she wasn't expecting that. That's one reason I picked Rose in that fight. I was like, I gotta pick Rose over Joanna. I think Rose might knock Joanna out. I literally said that because I was like, I think that style is gonna be a problem for Joanna. Yeah, Peter Yan and Figgy, man. Peter Yan and Figgy, man. That's another one. Like those are good examples. And then just Grasso and Shevchenko. It's just the taking the right things away from boxing can really give these fighters in MMA fits. O'Malley and I guess we could say even like O'Malley and Aljamain. I mean that's the most basic one because Aljamain I like Aljamain, but man his stand up was raggedy in that fight. It was embarrassing. I'm gonna go back and watch Peter Yan and Figgy again though, man. That's a good one, man. That's a good one. Oh wait a minute, hold on. That fight. I'm thinking of something else. Hold on. Yeah, I'm thinking of something else. I was thinking of another fight with Peter Yan's box. Okay, that fight is coming on. Oh snap! All right, I got you. Easy said Strickland was looking like Crawford in there. Izzy was lost. Yeah, he was, man. Yeah. Colossus said Strickland is boring. I'm sick of his lame trash talk. Oh, November 23rd. Okay. Now, that fight being in China, that's that was kind of a missed opportunity for Weili, don't y'all think? Peter Yan, Peter Yan is fighting in China, and Weili ain't fighting in China in November. When are they gonna do? When are they gonna do a Weili fight in China, man? Wait a minute. You got Chinese fighters up here, but you ain't got Weili. Hold on. Yeah, you got these new straw weights from Road to UFC. How you gonna do a China fight? and not have Weili on there though. Could Weili and Jan rematch co-main? They already got them two strawweight girls as the co-main event, I believe. Well, no, they're not the co-main yet, but is that enough firepower there? Johnny said UFC has been terrible with matchmaking this year. Yeah, they haven't been on it, man. Like they done right by some fights that were just like supposed to happen, but they kind of forced some fights. I think that's why UFC Noche didn't really bang like that, man, because I think they kind of forced some fights. Johnny said earlier, speaking of size, Jessica Andrade was too short and small to be fighting at flyweight. Yeah, I think that strength wise, and I think she definitely has strength. Had she had more technique, I think she could make it because I think strength and power did carry up to 125. I think she was stronger at 125, but the lack of height and skill sets was holding her back. Lack of height, skill set definitely held her back. Like I think had she been more working on her grappling and ground game, Andrade could have been a problem. Yeah, yes, that don't make sense. Yeah, that don't make sense. Jan Weili too, even if it is in China. G Frank said UFC needs to stop using WMMA title fights as co-main accessories. They save them to use them as a second title fight on a pay-per-view instead of booking them when they make sense. Right. I think that's what they're doing with Weili. I think they were trying to put her on like the Stipe John Jones card, or they're going to put her on the O'Malley. They were thinking about putting her on the O'Malley card, but then they went on and put Grasso Shevchenko there. Dana needs to drop power slap. Yeah, drop power slap for real. Please drop power slap. I know he said something like it's gonna be bigger than everything or MMA. I said it. I was like, man, nobody want to see that. Yes, I think Khalil has a puncher's chance. I think he definitely has somewhat of a puncher's chance. Like, don't be surprised if he buzzes or rattles Alex. I wouldn't be surprised if he hurt him a little bit. What else y'all got? Be on here another 10 minutes with y'all. Weili fans want Jan to get an immediate rematch. I wonder why. Man. James said, but Jan was dropping it left and right. She was, man, but she still wasn't like doing enough to win rounds. Like that's what made it kind of funny. Is just like had Jan maybe like made the fight closer, like 3-2, or even had like a split decision, that might have been pushing. That might have pushed more for a rematch. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna make me go back and watch that Weili Jan fight now. Johnny said, "Who you picking, Rose or Aaron?" I'm rooting for Aaron. I am rooting for Aaron. I like Aaron. She's young. I think she's younger and just something better for the division, with youth and her style. But Rose is kind of on a mission now at 125, man. Like, I'm hoping Aaron is covering her bases as far as her weaknesses. But this is a dangerous fight, striking, stand up, well-rounded wise, Rose got a little bit of everything, man. Like Rose got a little bit of everything. So if Aaron cannot close that distance and make this a physical, gritty fight and work Rose's body early, like to me, I think this is a key to victory. I'm gonna give away right now. Have Aaron work more on like a Thai clinch or even like a little bit of a Muay Thai style on the inside, where she can like throw vicious knees to Rose's body and make it like a close quarter phone booth fight. If she don't really have that type of thing going, it's gonna be hard to get on the inside because Rose can pop. Rose got a little bit of pop when she dropped Cortez. Johnny says wrestling is kryptonite for Rose. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like Aaron, she's got strength and clinch game against the cage, but she don't really like wrestle like that either. Like Erin don't really have like high level wrestling. She got good jujitsu, but if Erin just comes straight up in there blitzing and trying to pin her up, I believe Rose can create separation. So that's a good point though. If Erin works tight on that wrestling and, like I said, combine that with more of a close quarters striking game, she could do some damage. Because Erin can hurt. She can hurt a girl. She can definitely hurt a girl on the feet. So I would love to see her have more of a educated approach on how to get in, because it's gonna be kind of hard. It's gonna be kind of hard getting in there. Oh, Colosseum going to the braid. Uh-oh. You talking about the braid in the Manon fight? That thing was like a tether ball. Paul said Rose can scramble. Yeah. Yeah. Bipolar said he don't think Rose's wrestling is her kryptonite. I think body shots. I think body shots in close quarter fights are kind of her kryptonite. For me personally, I think like close quarter fights, where she's in the pocket with somebody, because Rose is a dog too. Rose got heart, so Rose like to get up in there and trade a little bit. So that could be her downfall with some fighters. But I think just sometimes when she's fighting somebody that is really, really consistent, that can be her kryptonite. Somebody that's just consistent, bringing pressure. Like that's been Rose's kryptonite. I think fighters that stay level. If you don't give her a chance to think, like Rose is a thinking fighter. Rose is a thinking fighter. Some of them girls that just turn that thinking off and come at her and they're strong, that's where she kind of suffers a little bit. Yeah, Johnny, that's true. She wasn't no dog in that fight. She wasn't no dog in that rematch. Yeah, she sure wasn't. She wasn't no worst strawweight title fight in history. Yeah, she wasn't no dog in that one. So, how you feel about Natalia and Macy? I like both of them. I like Natalia Silva. I like what she's bringing to the table. I think she's definitely going to get a title shot here soon. If Natalia and Macy fight right now, I would favor Natalia, if that's what you mean, that fight. I think Macy's it's really hard to say. Like, I really don't know where Macy stands right now. Like, I don't know what's going on with her that's kind of killing her mindset. Well, I know there's like a condition she has, and maybe that's kind of what's holding her back. When she goes in there, she fights though, but it's almost like they don't get the right fight sometimes. Like they called for like a Lauren Murphy fight at one point. They didn't call for Manon. They called for Andrade instead of calling for Erin. So the little thing, I know she called for Grasso. She wanted that rematch. That's a fight she already had before. Just a little unusual stuff like that. Natalia Silva, I think it's a little bit more straightforward. I'm a little bit more understanding. Natalia Silva wants, Natalia Silva wants the belt. She's calling for it now. All right, I got you. That's what you want. So have them fight. I think Natalia would probably get a victory there. I think Natalia is a little bit more active in the fight, connects more. She's strong. Her takedown defense is a little underrated. I think Natalia tries to make everything count, everything she does, even though she does move a lot. Her downfall might be the energy sometimes. Natalia uses a lot of energy. Sometimes she needs to slow it down, and that's where Macy could catch up to her. So Macy always has a chance, I think, in a fight. That's one thing about Macy. She don't quit in the fight. She won't quit. Johnny said, I think Tatiana would have mauled Rose. Yeah, I think so too. Like, I think Johnny, I think Tatiana would have beat everybody at strawweight. Only style still say Colostrum is I think Joanna still would be a hard fight for Tatiana. even even with that post that we talked about, I still think Joanna's style matchup would be hard for Tatiana. But Rose, I think Tatiana make that easy work. Aaron might say I consistently rooted against Andrade ever since that Rose Slam. I ain't gonna lie, man. That Rose Slam was harsh, man. That thing looked like she tried to kill her in there, and that I kind of felt a certain way at that time because I was like, man, like is this right? We know we've seen it before, but I was like, can somebody do this? Like she dang near killed Rose, man. I was like, what? Like, are you really allowed to do this? I'm just saying, like, I kind of felt some type of way when I saw that too. I was like, that's brutal. And I seen guys' ears almost come off in boxing. Johnny said Macy brings the pressure in mixing wrestling. Yeah, she brings the pressure, and her clinch fighting has gotten better. Closum said Joanna didn't believe that. Oh man, that's funny. Bipolar said I think Rose can beat Tatiana. I think where they are now, it kind of evens out. But had we go back like 2018, 2017, 2019, if Tatiana was, let's say Tatiana was fresh, yeah. James Perez said, "What do you think about Barbara Weili on paper? I think that would be a good fight. Good action. Like I would watch it, but I'd be kind of mad that they made that happen. I would kind of be disappointed for Barbara taking that fight instead of trying to come instead of trying to get Aaron, and I'd be disappointed for Weili instead of trying to get Suarez. Like it probably would be action, but I'd be mad that thing would be happening, James. Like just as a fight fan, like want to see somebody get up in there and get some work. Yeah, but I'm kind of thinking they might do something crazy like that because I think Weili might be Iron 125, man. Maybe not. I don't know, man. That's one of the things I thought earlier. I don't know. Blood Throne, what's up? Blood Throne said, I think Weili gets wrecked at 125. She's a small strawweight. I don't think she'll do well against top flyweights. Yeah, I personally don't. G Frank said crazy that we say when Tatiana was fresh, when we talking about her, how she matches up with someone who's been fighting longer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we talking about somebody who's been fighting longer that's, gained more experience. That's why it's like, well, fresh in the sense of, younger, not some of those injuries didn't take place. Easy said, did Barbara graduate? I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did graduate high school, man. Like, I mean, I don't know personal life, but I'm guessing she did, man. Like, look, man. Like, not everybody, not everybody who graduates high school or college is necessarily uneducated, right? Some of the dumbest people graduate from college, right? Some of the dumbest people got college degrees, right? I'm not saying all graduates, but I'm just saying like that's the old saying. I think a lot of my old folks say too. Six said I Weili only eyeing the 125-pound belt. Oh man. James said, what do you think Weili Grasso? Grasso could hurt her on the feet, but Weili could take her down. Who would you favor right now? Still an interesting fight. If it's at 125, I would probably favor Grasso. I would favor Grasso. This is just her ride up to 125. She's looked better, man. Like Grasso since moving up to 125, James, she ain't looked like. I know she looked flat in the Valentina fight, but that's because she would fight Valentina. Better, overall better fighter. One of the best. But Grasso, she ain't looked back since, as far as like I just don't think Weili presents that type of threat like Valentina did. Like, yeah, she could get a takedown, but does she have the striking to get in there and get the takedown? You know, like Paul said, Weili would maul Grasso on the ground. Yeah, if she gets it there, man. I'll shoot. I'm not trying to, put Weili's IQ down, not at all. But I believe Grasso switching left-handed, man. That right there might be enough. That might be enough to send Weili back to 115. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sometimes reality has to come in the form of a Mexican southpaw. Johnny said Alexa has to work on her takedown defense. Paul said Weili would maul Grasso. Yep. Yeah, education don't equal intelligence. Yeah, Brian. Johnny said, who should Alexa fight next? I would like to see her fight Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva or Natalia Silva, or even like the winner of Aaron Rose. Those are good fights. Closer said people claim Tatiana is trash, so why hasn't she been ragdolled yet? Yeah, I mean, for real, like ain't nobody ragdolled her yet. Ain't nobody ragdoll her. Like BJ was saying yesterday, like as far as like the wrestler and the grappler in the division, like a straw weight, you'd have to put her as that high level one. Yeah. Grasso would hit Weili with so many jabs. Shoot, and let it be the right jab. We easy. Let it be the right jab. Closum said the three Toddy haters responded to me at the same time. I ain't reading all that. Go ahead, man. You got a few more minutes. You can keep reading. The Black Ninja, what's up, man? He said, do you think Weili beat Suarez? I actually think that her chances are higher now that she has been more active and gotten better as a fighter. Had this been a few years ago, I'd have picked Suarez. But if Weili chooses to wrestle with Suarez, I'm going with Suarez. I'm going with Suarez to win. Johnny said, I'm hoping to see Pena versus Kayla next year for the belt. Okay. Who do you got in that fight? If that happens next year, who do you got? Pena or Kayla, Johnny? Weili just needs to stop spinning for every kick. Weili training with Nonito for boxing. Southpaw won't be a problem. Is she still with Nonito Donaire? Okay. If she still is, I hope, I hope that's translating over. I mean, Weili definitely has some good leg kicks too. Grasso is open for leg kicks and body kicks. So Weili definitely could have a chance to. Anybody has a chance, like especially if like she feels good too and strong. Like let's say her chin is good at 125. Like that could be a thing. Like Ebos, maybe Weili getting dropped because of the weight cut, right? Because she recovers. Maybe she's just getting dropped because of the rough weight cut. Maybe that's leaving her brain a little bit, dry. So maybe if she moves up 125, she won't get hurt as much. Kind of work for Ebos. Yeah, if Weili skipping Manon, that would be disgusting, man. That would be disgusting. And I don't want to hear, wait, it's because Manon don't have personality. You ain't gotta act ignorant all the time, man. Like Manon Fior done way more than enough to earn a title shot. That's the thing. We turned it into too much of a TikTok social media generation. I'm sick of that. Like everybody wants somebody to act ignorant and to act a fool. Like I think Manon Fior, she ain't got to act out of pocket. I mean, yes, sometimes it's cool to talk, which she does. Like she does. She called out Valentina. She did. And when she did talk, people got mad because when she said, hey, I'm better than Aaron or I'm better than Rose, I'm going to beat them at their own game, people complain, right? But now that, let's say Weili jumped ahead, people want to say, oh, she didn't say it. She didn't say enough or she didn't do enough. And she did enough in the cage. she did enough in the cage, and that's what matters. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm a person that wants to see more fights. I want to see fights. Like, I don't want to see her acting up and acting stupid. I want to see her doing what she's doing, focus on her craft. And to me, that's way more than enough. I mean, you beat 7 people in the UFC, so you get your shot. She should. If she had to climb that cage, she should have got up in that cage too. That's why I said, like, I think even on her part, like, they should have, like, between her and her trainer, they should have got up in there. Robot said, I don't agree with the combo. You can't have contender title fights to the top and put them on ice. Yeah, you can't. You really can't. Like, yeah, Weili got a belt, but that's not enough stock. 7 wins in the flyweight division versus somebody with a strawweight belt. That's still not enough. That still ain't enough to me. You got to wait. You got to get behind everybody else. Shoot, Rose already got victories. Rose got more victories at 125. Rose could get her flyweight title shot. And you know why? Because Rose already got victories over Weili. So ain't no cutting in line out here. If Weili has a good run at 125, is she considered the greatest? If she has a good run at 125, of course. Yeah. Like, if she got a good run in 2 divisions, it would almost give Amanda Nunes's run a good solid, it would definitely be debatable, right? Because Amanda ran bantamweight, but let's be real, she did beat Cyborg at featherweight, but at featherweight, it really wasn't like a solid division. Felicia Spencer, that's a good fight. Okay, that's a tough girl she beat. Megan Anderson, we knew she'd win that fight, right? So she had 2 belts, but her signature run is at bantamweight for Amanda. But let's say if Weili runs flyweight too, that's great. That'd be great because flyweight is the division right now. And then you won the belt, the strawweight, and defended it too. So between both of those divisions, yeah, for sure, that would definitely put her up there 6. But that's a lot of work. But that's like that's a big what if, because somebody out of the top 6 beats Weili. Not somebody, but some 3 or 4 or 5 fights I see. That's why I say I would definitely put her down as a great, because beating any of them would put her as a great. But I really don't see her beating it. I don't see her beating out of the top 6 4 out of 6 of them. I don't see her beating anybody in there. I don't see her beating Manon. I don't see her beating it. Don't see her beating Grasso. Don't see her beating Natalia Silva. Rose, 3rd fight with Rose at flyweight. Don't see her beating Rose either. Honestly, I mean, Valentina, nope. Yeah, 6. I'm saying if she does. Yeah, if she does, exactly. If she does, because that's a tough list right there. Bloodthrone said featherweight wasn't an actual division. Right. So yeah, if you run both flyweight and strawweight, that's good. That's impressive. Johnny says Zong can move up to bantamweight. Whew. You trying to get her killed, man? Trying to get her killed by Kayla? all Ketlin got to do is lay on her. Yeah. At most, man, I don't know, man. At most, I don't think the UFC do anything that stupid right now. At most, I think that if Weili does move up, it's going to be for a fight to get her feet wet, and it would have to be somebody in the top 5. Oh yeah. That's about it. Double champ is overhyped. Everyone knows the toughest thing to do in MMA is to keep defending your belt over and over. I agree. I agree with that. I love a dominant champion. You know, I love somebody who can just run their division. You know, when Bernard Hopkins did it, Larry Holmes, you know, Lennox Lewis, you know, Roy, when they would just stay in the division and just own it for a while. Yeah, I loved it, you know, when they would do that back in the day. But everybody want to move up, move down, which I see the money in it, but nah, as a pure fan, I love to see somebody dominate the division. Easy said Larry Holmes never got enough credit. No, he didn't. He didn't. Johnny said, I hear Zhang going to face Mackenzie Dern next. Oh, no, she's not. Mackenzie Dern is fighting Amanda Ebos in a rematch. Yeah. Yeah, Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ebos, actually, they're about to run it back. So, yeah, whoever told you that, nah, that ain't happening. If Weili had Mackenzie Dern maybe won her last couple fights, yeah, she probably would be there now. James says, so which fight are you looking forward to the most, Pena, Rocky, or Kayla Vieira? I'm looking forward to action wise and some questions answered. I'm looking forward to Kayla and I'm looking forward to the title fight. I am looking forward to the title fight. Fresh wise, I'm kind of looking. I'm really am interested in Kayla Kitlin. I think that's the one because I really want to see if Kitlin can get up here. I want to see if Kitlin can get up. So I think I'm kind of looking forward to calling that fight. I think there's gonna be more action than calling that fight. Johnny said, "Who would you pick between Norma and Macy Chase on? If they did a rematch, I wouldn't be surprised if Norma won that one. I think Norma lost the first time because she was kind of backpedaling and sitting back too much, but she started to come on strong. You know, Macy kind of gassed out in that fight, and Macy Chason did get caught. Norma caught her in that, hurt her towards the end of the round. But I think the next time around, I think Norma could get that one back. Bipolar said, yeah, she did. She almost got stopped in the last round there, kind of gassed out there. I think Norma with the right game plan this time, I think for sure she could probably get this one. No guarantees. Like if she just has a problem with Macy's style or something like that, that's always something you always look at. Like some people just have trouble with certain types of people, but she probably would get that one back. I think she's been looking a little bit sharper. My bad, y'all. Before we go, yeah, Marina and Lucindo. I'm gonna talk about this in the video. I know Colostrum asked about. I keep saying I am, but there's been a lot of fights lined up. You know, there's just a lot of going on. I'm gonna drop a video talking about this one because this here is basically what I've been saying. You know, this is what happens. You know, in a division. Marina, she's in a position right now where she kind of has to prove herself again. Her first run she had a couple years ago was looking nice. I was thinking she was gonna get it, but then they gave her Amanda Lemos, and that kind of like destroyed that that track she was on. And since then, it's been just kind of down, man. Like I remember she put together good 4 fights. She was winning. It was looking good, but after that Lemos fight, her next 4, she went 1-3. She went 1-3, and she beat the girl Michelle Waterson out of all them. She couldn't beat Andrade, Werner, or Lemos, you know. So Marina's in a position now where got to prove herself. 1-3 is definitely on the downside, right? Marina's one of my favorite fighters. Y'all know that too. So I'm gonna be honest though, like she's one of my favorite fighters to watch. But where she's at now, she's definitely falling back down, right? And Lucindo's been looking good. So, like I always say, you're gonna meet in the middle. You're gonna meet in the middle with somebody, and she's meeting in the middle with a little killer right now, one that's looking well equipped. So Lucindo's definitely not going to be a walk in the park for Lucindo. I actually think, to be honest, I think that Lucindo, with what she possesses and how she fights, I think Lucindo could be more of a threat to Marina than Marina can be a threat to her. I'm just saying. That's real talk. I'm just saying, like, Marina has got really good striking. She's powerful right hand. But outside of that, we all know that she struggles on the ground. Yasmin Lucindo, on the other hand, has some patience striking, still working, but it's looking better. But she has a ground game. She can take you down. She's got good takedowns. This girl, she's got a good background. I know people love when I repeat this, but Lucindo she's a young dog too. This girl been fighting since she was 15 or 16, and I find that impressive. Like her first professional fight was when she was like 15 years old, y'all. This girl was like a preteen when she first put the gloves on. So I think Yasmin Lucindo she has a bigger threat level from where I see it now, from where I see it right now, and seeing what Marina lacks and just seeing how she's been handled in her last 3 losses. I think this is a good time for Lucindo to capitalize. Now, Marina, on the other hand, there's just been some things they haven't put together, like takedown defense. Overall, like offensive grappling is still a problem. They just kind of, I won't say pushed it to the side, but they just kind of hope for the best, it seems like, in their performances, because when you get taken down, it's like she's just waiting. She's waiting for that moment. Her scramble ain't been the best. It's never really been the best. Like her get up. Like, see, the thing about Marina gets, the thing about Alexa Grasso, she gets taken down. She gets taken down a lot, but she be getting back up. She will get back up. She be squirming. That girl be squirming her hips. She learned that, right? She still need to learn how to not get taken down, but she gets taken down, right? But when Marina gets taken down, sometimes she's just accepting it. Sometimes she just look lost. She knows how to stop the submission, but when Marina gets taken down, she's gonna lose the round. You can almost bet on it. She's gonna lose the round. Like when Mackenzie Dern took her down in that second round, she lost that round clearly. She won every other round, but when she got taken down that round, I pretty much said, "Oh, she lost that round." Same thing when she fought Verna, taken down in every round. Oh, that's it. She lost, right? So I hate to say that, but yeah, I think that's the thing that Yasmin Lucindo can capitalize on moving forward into this fight. Yes, she's green. Yes, she's young, but she's got more than enough, I think, to kind of corner her and put her in that position, as long as she stays out of Marina's power zone. I think that this young Lucindo working with Amanda Nunes too, it kind of rubs off that, having somebody take you in her wing like that, she's been working on the right things, so very, 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 very impressed with some of the things that she's got going for us. So this could be her fight to win. Yeah, Zama said more core strength. Yeah, more core strength for Grasso too. That's a plus for her. With them hips be bucking and moving, she be, that's what helps her get up. That's something that Marina Rodriguez, they just lack. They lack. Yasmin Lucindo, a grappler. Yeah, she's getting better on the ground, man. Like, I got to go back and look at her submission ratio, but yeah, man, she's got some good things, man. Hopefully Ailin Perez shakes it towards a title shot. Hold on. There's another question somebody asked. Hold on. James said, when's that fight this weekend? No, it's next weekend. This fight's next weekend, James. The matchmaking should make Zhang Weili versus Tabitha Ricci. Oh, no. I don't want to see that. Tabitha Ricci going to get hurt. James said, "What do you think? Who do you think wins that fight?" I know you've been high on Marina in the past until she started getting whooped. I honestly would lean towards if Lucindo can put it together, man, and mix it up. And I'm not even saying if she just takes a fight to the ground, but if she mixes up her striking game and she's able to back Marina up and then take her down, I could see Lucindo's work rate and well-rounded style. I could see it. I could see her winning this fight. I would like to see Marina get back into the mix, but I could see Lucindo getting a victory here, James. Lolita said, "Would Ailin beat Dumont?" No, I got Dumont in that fight. Yeah, Lucinda's dangerous. Marina does have power, and that could be the one thing going for it. Yeah, Johnny, I agree with that. Arena Aldana and Alexa Grasso do need to throw more leg kicks in fights, but they so hung up on boxing that their front leg is heavy and they don't really get in a good position sometimes, especially Irina Aldana. James said Nunes wouldn't be a great coach. Yeah, I don't really think when they were in the tough house, I really wasn't a fan of her coaching, but I think it could be more of like a one-on-one thing, like letting her watch and training with her, being a training partner versus a coach. It could be that type of dynamic. Maybe her not fully training her, but being a coach to her, but actually giving her secrets and things like that. It's kind of different when you're working with a fighter. Like, but as like a coach, I don't see Nunes really being that. No. Shevchenko, Zaman says Shevchenko or Pena, who's a better coach? I'll go with. I gotta go with. I gotta go with Pena, man. I think Pena kind of brought the best out of some fighters in there. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I don't know if it's just like that little. She had like a mix of fan, almost like a mother in there too, man. Like, the mother wants you see you whoop somebody's butt that's been bullying you or something like that. Like, that quality kind of brought the best out of people. Like, Pena had kind of like this motherly vibe that still worked as a coach. That's just me. I think Shevchenko rides up there though. Like, I think Shevchenko, she was was better than some of wait. I think she's better than Chandler. But from the most recent ones, but I think that Shevchenko, there's a level that works for fighters that she brings to the table, but something about Pena kind of brought out the best in everybody. Like, I think it's like her moral support too. So moral support and even like technique, like she can help other fighters with technique. You know what I mean? Like, I'd say Pena. I just say Pena, man. Like, I would call Pena. Like, if I would ask to be on her team, I'd be like, if she was coaching now, I'd be like, let me go ahead and get on Pena's team. All right. Paul said, does Pena let people drink water? Okay, Zaba said results say Pena's better. Yeah, Pena, most definitely. Yeah, Loma's 5'1". Yeah, Loma's about 5'1". Carlos 5'1". Yeah, and Carlos a two-time champion though, right? Carlos a two-time champion. Easy said Nunes was a bad coach on tough because she didn't really care. It's a TV show. What she's doing with Lipsky and Lucinda proves she's not bad, right? And like I said, I think it's just like the mind frame you got to be in with the crowd sometimes. Like, yeah, if it's a show and you're around a lot of people, but if you have somebody working with you side by side and y'all both have fights coming up and there's more riding on it, the improvements are there. Yeah, because Lipsky and Lucindo, they both improved. Like, I think it's a little bit different. Air might say it's 4 a.m. in France. I know it's 10 o'clock here, man. It's been a good talk, but I got a jet, y'all. Y'all keep on. That's why chat's been good over here, man. Like, y'all be holding me up sometime because the conversation is good. So shout out to everybody in the chat. So y'all be doing it. Like, if y'all were doing nothing but just trolling and talking trash, like, I mean, yeah, we argue or debate sometimes, but when we just talk about stuff like this, it distracts me and keeps me staying longer. So That must mean the conversation is good. Look, everybody at 4 a.m. So yeah, look, I ain't trying to make you late for work. Don't blame me. You know, if you get fired, don't tell them Como did it. Don't say anything like that. But yeah, you go ahead and get up out of here. We'll be on tomorrow because Easy E, if you still in the building, I'm gonna get on tomorrow just for you because you said you got something to say. So I'm gonna get on. I'm gonna get on tomorrow. All my business I gotta take care of early in the day tomorrow. I gotta go work out early. I gotta go run some errands. But tomorrow at 7 or 7:30, I'm gonna put that little post up. All right. And put that little post up. So easy. If you want to take a link tomorrow, I'm getting on for you. I'm getting on for you tomorrow. So I'm telling you, hey, it'll be open tomorrow. Yeah, Air Mike, good night. He said good night, everybody. Oh, he's a freelancer. Okay, that's good. That's good. Make your own hours. But on that note, I am rolling out myself. So hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. Welcome. Hey, make sure y'all welcome the newcomer, Johnny. Welcome Johnny into the fold. You know, if he subscribed and wants to come back again, if he enjoyed the conversation, you know, he'll come back. But yeah, welcome this newcomer, Johnny, over here. He's had some good questions. Six said the French don't even know the skater girl, but no. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, Brian. Thanks. No problem. Yeah, welcome. Like I said, welcome Johnny over. He's make sure you come on back. We don't get out of hand too much for the most part over here, right? Just closing some stuff out here. And close that out. Close that out. Close that out. Close you and close you. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow because I will do a little live where we can discuss my other video here, you know, because I want to do that. And on that note, everything's closed out here. I will catch y'all tomorrow around the same time. Peace.